In 1999, actor Nate Jacobs founded the West Coast Black Theater Troupe in Sarasota to explore the African-American experience. Over 20 years later, the company continues its mission for inclusion and diversity in the arts.
I want everybody to get up off your seat and get your arms together and your hands together. Give me some of that old soul.
I have to go start a theater that celebrates people who look like me.
African-American theater companies, it was unheard of. But he had this vision, he had this dream.
There is no quitting. There is no giving up.
For a theater to own its own home is transformational.
If someone wants an example of faith and persistence together, that is Nate Jacobs.
After 3 or 4 years in the theater, I became the black male actor of Sarasota. He sings, he acts.
Roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun.
Sarasota, it's a very white community, and it's sad to say you take notice of someone who is different than everybody else, and he was one of the few African-American performers that you would see. You also took notice of him because he was extremely talented.
He was really getting stereotypical black roles at the time.
I kept being called for shows, servant roles, I think all of them, because in dated theater, you know, shows that are period pieces, who were black people but servants and slaves. The thing that really got me more than anything was the lack of interest for diversity.
One day he came into my office and he said, I want to start a theater of my own to talk about the African-American experience in our community.
This was Nate Jacobs selling to this very educated theater audience that this black theater was legit, it was essential, and it had a place on the cultural landscape. We went on this vagabond journey, just appearing anywhere we could.
We would jump in his van and change our clothes in that van, put on our makeup in that van. That van has been the dressing room, rehearsal studio. But, you know, we made it work. We made it work because we really believed in what he was doing.
If you can imagine, you went to go find the costumes, you helped put together your set, you sat in your lighting rehearsals, you're picking up all your actors, you're feeding them, okay? You're taking them back home, and then after that, you've got to take your daughter home and come back and do it all over again every night.
All the scenery, props, risers, chairs, everything had to be put down by the actors. They'd put on a show, and then they'd pack it all back up into a pod every night. So that was very hard.
I mean, he was creating a lot of musical reviews at the time. They weren't doing existing plays or musicals for the most part, because I don't think he could afford the rights to them.
I started to see it wearing on my father, and he was just kind of saying, like, when is this going to stop being such a struggle? When is this going to stop being so hard? When am I going to get support?
Howard sat me down and said, I need to tell you, the missing link of West Coast Black Theater Troupe is an executive director. He said, Nate, you need an executive director like every arts organization in this town.
All I knew at the time was that they did not have a home to perform in. I knew that they were $150,000 in debt and that they were considering an option of closing down the theater if they couldn't find someone to help them.
Christine was absolutely perfect for us. When she decided to come on, she said, you know, I know nothing about the theater. I said, and you know everything about money, and I know everything about the theater. And between the two of us, we'll help Nate, and we'll see if we can make this work. She pulled us out of that $150,000 debt in 9 months.
We found this space here on 1012 North Orange, and we set up a theater in there with folding chairs and a black floor and started performing there.
They transformed it from this very bland warehouse to a full functioning theater.
Then it went into foreclosure. We managed to purchase this whole campus for $450,000, which we had to work hard to raise that money. And I would say from that point on, our trajectory financially just changed 100%.
14 years ago, it was nothing out there. Absolutely nothing. It was like Big River. Like, you can scrub the floor and sing, you know, sing a spiritual, you know what I mean? And that's when I really began to understand how important my father was to the community. It wasn't just that these were entertaining shows. He was our only opportunity to get on stage and to really grow as an artist.
Theater is another way of exposing, educating, and enlightening people at large. And that's what a lot of our work does here. This is the only way we can start that conversation, is that we try to understand each other a little more.
Of course, we've been met with prejudice, and I mean, our world is still so full of those things. But I think that because you get to come into such a welcoming and loving environment, you know, there's no other option but for the walls of that separation to be torn down.
And you just fall in love with everybody involved with the theater, the actors, Nate, the mission. It's something that grows in your soul and just keeps you attached.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We just cut the ribbon to our new destiny and our brand new Miracle Theater, everybody. Let's hear it one more time.
We are running now just like any legit professional theater around the country. Sold out houses every time we open a show. We're part of the Equity Association, so we're able to give actors their professional equity status and acting card. This is our 3rd year of completing our summer camp, where underserved kids come in for 5 weeks of performing arts training. Reaching Black pride for decades.
I know a lot of our community is really proud of my father. There are Black kids who can walk past that building and say, a Black man did that. That's important. A Latino can pass by here and say, a man of color did that. There's possibility for me, there's hope for me, no matter what anyone tells me, no matter what anyone says. This is proof. You can see it.
The troupe and I, we're stunned. We have walked into a future we never thought would be real for us. And a place we can call home.
For more information, visit westcoastblacktheater.org.